Welcome! So this is Minidisc Monday number 52, and we enter a weekly stage of the series once again, as we have a bit of a mini series within. And of course, as you know, we are starting from today Britpop month, that very British and very 1990s celebration of indie guitar music, really, to put it in layman's terms. But you all know what Britpop is, and hopefully those of you by now who've been watching regularly will know what a mini disc is. Here's one, and it's the album we're going to look at today. This is the debut album from Kula Shaker, K.
I didn't know what he was talking about, but I think I had an idea. The smell of rose, sweet, sweet rose, cast the sun found where it grows. The smell of rose, the sweet, sweet rose that grows from castle walls in heaven. Oh, in heaven, yeah. Well, if it feels like summer, you're catching the sun, but I'm catching the moment you're born. Well, if it tastes like honey, don't swallow it all, but don't wait for the moment to come and catch the sun. Hey dude, well, don't lean on me, man, 'cause I'm losing my direction and I can't understand. No. Hey dude, well, I do what I can, but you treat me like a woman when I feel like a man. I was crossing the city one day, everybody was flying.
So this came out in 1996, the first studio release from the four lads in Kula Shaker, of course led by Crispin Mills, son of Hayley Mills. And I've listened to this album again for the first time in many years just now, and I'll talk about the tracks shortly, but as we always do here on MD Monday, I'm going to give you a look at the packaging and the booklet or insert within. The case is in pretty good condition, few scuffs but quite minor, so pretty happy with the condition of that case. Of course it's got the Sony nice price sticker on, which indicates that this was going cheap in some high street record store back in the day. Lovely artwork for this album. It's one of my favourite album sleeves, I think, really. Very nicely designed, and all the people featured on the front there, their name, either their forename or their surname begins with K. I mean, you've got Martin Luther King, Lord Kitchener, Grace Kelly's on there, Danny Kaye, John F. Kennedy, and many others. It's quite a fun thing, a bit like the Sgt. Pepper sleeve, I suppose, to sort of look at it and spot who you know, really. Folds out into a very colourful and Eastern mystic looking insert there. Lovely stuff, lyrics in there as well. This is the disc itself, album artwork. Flip it over, we've got the track listing and a bit of legal stuff as well on Columbia Records, this album. So what do I think of K? Well, I am a Kula Shaker fan. I don't own all their albums simply because I like to collect them on vinyl, since only their first two albums came out on Minidisc. And yes, I have got to their follow-up. We will look at it one day in the future on this series. Really was looking forward to hearing this again after all these years, as it's been a while. I've mainly heard more of Kula Shaker's more recent stuff as they reformed, I don't know, at least a decade ago, I think, and they've been kind of a consistent recording and touring act since. But this came in at number 1 on the UK album chart. Apparently it was the fastest selling debut album in UK chart history up until this point. And the tracks on it, well, track number 1, a single, Hey Dude, very fun opener, really sets the stage and establishes that feeling that Kula Shaker really, although they were certainly lumped in the Britpop vein of things, and I'm certainly doing that this month in this series with them, but they were really kind of merging 70s style psychedelic rock with Indian and Eastern rhythms, really, and motifs, of course. Hey Dude, although it kind of sounds like something an American surfer would say. A great opener and a good choice for a single as well. Track number 2 is Night on the Town, another strong song there. Number 3 is Temple of Everlasting Light. Obviously with the title that gives you more of an indication as to certainly Crispin Mills' Indian tendencies here. Track number 4, I think my favourite on the album, and it did come out as a single, Govinda. Great song that, always loved that single ever since I heard it back in, it would have been 96, 97 I expect. Completely written and sung in Sanskrit, which must be a first and I dare say a last for the UK singles chart, for a fully Sanskrit song to get into the UK top 10, as I believe it did. But fantastic stuff, a real highlight on the album for me. Also, this sounded like there was some samples of cats on it as well, which I'd completely forgotten about. As we go from cats to dogs for track number 5, and smart dogs. And you do hear kind of some dogs at the start there. Number 6 is Magic Theatre. Number 7, Into the Deep. There again, this is sounding very 70s, a lot of it, and we're hearing that sort of maybe kind of appropriated, handed down to Crispin Mills Eastern mysticism in the lyrics here. But I've got no problem with it. I mean, I do like Indian music. I mean, I like Bhangra first and foremost, Indian dance pop really, and while this isn't that, I do appreciate hearing certain Indian instruments that you wouldn't hear on normal Western pop music or rock music. So that was Into the Deep, and then a real kind of interlude and Indian style one, it's Sleeping Jiva, track number 8. It has like a sitar or a member of the sitar family running through that. Nice instrumental track that. Number 9, another single, Tatva. I think that was their debut single. It got reissued at some point as well. I'm not sure exactly which version, whether it was one of the single mixes or not, was on this album, but great track nonetheless, Tatva. Another one that did well for Kula Shaker. As I say, this album went in at number 1 with a bullet. Sold a lot of copies. Number 10, Grateful When You're Dead, Jerry Was There. This was a single as well, probably for me the weakest of the singles that were taken from the album. I think it's almost like 2 songs in one, which, given that it's sort of got 2 titles here, is perhaps quite understandable really. I'm not sure if the single edit just had the Grateful When You're Dead part, but the album version includes Jerry Was There, and it's kind of like a segue of the 2 things, but they kind of sound similar ultimately. Not the best single on the album for me, in fact the weakest really, but not a bad track certainly. It just goes on a bit. I'd have preferred maybe Jerry Was There to have been split and put as a separate track, but obviously Jerry's referring to Jerry Garcia. Grateful When You're Dead, obviously a homage to a band who was certainly a big influence on Kula Shaker, the Grateful Dead, so you can kind of understand why they merged together here. Number 11 is 303. Number 12, Start All Over. And then the final track, or tracks, is Hollow Man, parts 1 and 2. Really nice, hippie, psychedelic start to part 1 really, and part 1 is an instrumental, part 2 then goes into more sort of an acoustic, Crispin Mills sung ending really. Pleasant way to end the album. There again, it's more of a segue of 2 tracks rather than one whole thing, but it is classed as 1 track. And then you think that's the end of the album, but you have to skip along, ages, about 15 minutes almost I think, to hear a little sample, a little bit of a speech from the founder of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So that's your bonus track on K. I like this album. I don't absolutely love it. I'm a Kula Shaker fan. I like them generally, but I need to be in the mood to listen to them. I was in the mood for this. I've been looking forward to hearing this again for a long time, as I am with their follow-up album Peasants, Pigs and Astronauts, which, as I say, we won't be looking at this month in Minidisc Monday, but it is something I intend to review for the series one day in the future. So K's a great album, deservedly a big seller of its era, and I was very pleased that I was able to review this for the first episode of Britpop month here on Minidisc Monday. So thank you all for watching today. I want to give special thanks to my wonderful subscribers and generous patrons. I'm going to go now, and of course we've got 4 more albums to look at all throughout the month of December, so keep on joining me right till near the end of the year as we look in 7 days at the second of 5 albums I've chosen for Britpop month here on Minidisc Monday. Cheers everyone. See ya!